The consequences of doing wrong. The story you're about to hear is true, and it happened right here in Thailand. Now, let's talk about the consequences of doing bad things. This is a true story that happened not long ago. Mayura was 12 to 13 years old at the time. Her family lived in a rural area in Ang Thong province. Her parents were farmers. When Mayura finished the 4th grade of primary school, her parents sent her to live with her aunt in the provincial town. Her aunt, Aunt Sri, was much wealthier than Mayura's parents, a renowned doctor at the time with her own clinic in the town. Aunt Sri was unmarried and quite charming, as many young men liked her, but she didn't. I'm interested in focusing solely on my work and saving money. Mayura was sent to live with Aunt Sri because her parents wanted her to complete her secondary education. Living with Aunt Sri gave her the opportunity to help and alleviate her responsibilities as much as possible, following the proverb, while you're staying at someone else's house, don't just sit idly by, make clay figurines for their children to play with. Importantly, she also had the chance to assist Aunt Sri with medical care, especially on Saturdays and Sundays, when school was closed and Aunt Sri was off from her official duties, allowing her to work full-time at her clinic. Besides being a doctor treating illnesses, Aunt Sri was also a quack doctor, providing illegal abortions to women who were irresponsible and only focused on pleasure. Aunt Sri earned at least 2,000 to 3,000 baht a day, especially on Saturdays and Sundays. Back then, Aunt Sri quickly became wealthy, and Miss Mayura also benefited, enjoying comfortable living conditions and financial freedom. Often, after the women left, Miss Mayura would help Aunt Sri dispose of the aborted fetuses in the drain behind the clinic. Sometimes, only the head and torso of the baby would be visible, missing the arms, and then most of the injuries were just blood clots. At that time, Miss Mayura didn't think much of it. It wasn't until she reached the 2nd year of high school that Nasri, a young female doctor, finally got married to a young doctor her age. After Nasri got married and started a family, she stopped performing abortions for her female racing enthusiasts. Whether it was because her husband forbade it or for some other reason is unknown. From then on, Nasri's income decreased, but she wasn't in dire straits because at least her husband still helped out. And then, not long after, Aunt Sri became pregnant with her first child. She cherished her unborn child more than anything, afraid to do anything that might cause harm. But she couldn't save the baby. Aunt Sri slipped and fell in the bathroom, tragically miscarrying her first child. Aunt Sri was heartbroken, but her husband always comforted her. Not long after, she became pregnant with her second child. This time, Aunt Sri was even more careful than before. She would simply point her finger and say, "Whatever you want, just say it." Finally, the loss of her second child came. One day, Aunt Sri was riding on the back of her husband's motorcycle, running errands outside the house, and a sedan rear-ended another car, resulting in a miscarriage of the second child. As for Aunt Sri, she ended up with a broken leg. After recovering from her illness, she resigned from government service and returned to work at the clinic, leaving her husband to work alone. Medical tests later revealed that Aunt Sri could never have children again in her life. This devastated her, causing her great distress. She became irritable, stressed, and frequently argued with her husband. As time went on, their family became increasingly unhappy. Then, tragedy struck Aunt Sri like a huge wave. It was discovered that her husband had secretly taken a mistress. Eventually, Aunt Sri and her husband divorced, and she decided to renounce everything by becoming a nun, remaining so until her old age. To this day, Mother Superior Sri is still alive and resides at a temple in Muang district, Suphan Buri province. Miss Mayura believes that Mother Superior Sri must have realized the wrongdoing she committed when she was a doctor, all of which were negative karma. That karma caught up with her, causing her to be unable to have children and leading to the breakup of her family. Therefore, she became a nun, refusing to pursue further religious studies, and remains so to this day. Thank you for listening to Thai Local Tales. I'm Captain Piroj. Until our next journey together, take care, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next episode.